Virginia, our guy, Tony Elliott, over-unders 3.5 this year. I put a lot of key losses on here, more than I put for any of the other ones, mostly because I'd actually put them in the key returner spot, and you'd point that out for me.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, they did lose a lot of guys. What are your thoughts on this over under 3.5?
I 3.5 is a low number. I think it's the lowest in the ACC, and I do lean the over. I think it'll come down to the end against Vatech. I think both those teams will be fighting for their respective over under win total, and that game will decide it for both of them. Again, it's a rivalry game. Who knows what's going to happen with that? They didn't play this past year because tragic events we talked about earlier. Um, so I'm rooting for Virginia because obviously everything that happened there. But the offense was terrible last year, right? 120th last year. It might take a year to implement that scheme with Tony Elliott, getting his guys in. But now this is the year. It's make or break. I don't see it though. I If they win 4 games, should I be that impressed? I don't think so. I mean, they won 4 games. It's a Power Five school. Nobody should be satisfied winning 4 games. If you're a Power Five school, especially with some of the resources that you have at Virginia and the talent pool that's there too. It's not terrible talent in that coastal over there in Virginia and in North Carolina. But yeah, they lost a lot of people. They lost a lot of people defensively, right? Ventrell Cypress is a stud. They lost Anthony Johns in the NFL, stud. Their top 2 corners in the ACC, right? They had last year. They won 3 games with, and they're gone.
And they were gonna get Cameron Kelly in the transfer portal until he decided, no, I'm gonna go to Louisville.
Exactly, and probably be on the bench there. So what does that tell you about them? Nick Jackson to Iowa was a good player, really, really good player. He's gone too. They lost their top 5 receivers. No, none of them were very good, but still, they're all gone. Malik Washington from Northwestern, I don't think he's that good, but we'll see.
Bowling
Malachi
ball, high motor. I like the effort that I see from him a lot, but his hands are just
Briggs.
bricks.
Malachi Fields last year was hurt. He's healthy now. We'll see what J.R. Wilson does if he puts on the weight that he needed to, and it sounds like he has. Jaden Gibson, early enrollee wide receiver, has had a good one. He's probably
Yeah,
going to play returner more special teams wise versus wide receiver.
yeah, but he
They
could
did
he could
lose.
crack that for sure.
It's not an easy, a hard thing to crack. So I
No,
mean, it'll be better offensively. They will probably be better,
maybe.
but it still won't be very good. Tony
I don't know,
Muskett,
man.
we haven't even talked about him yet out of Monmouth. It sounds like he's going to be the guy. They kind of believe in him. He's got a big time arm. He's pretty accurate. He's been really impressed so far. They like to push the ball down the field, and it sounds like he's got a nice deep ball. The thing is if you don't have an O line and you don't have playmakers, it doesn't matter. They brought in some offensive linemen, Ugana Nana from Houston, and then Jimmy Christ from Penn State, and then Brian Stevens from Dayton, who's got a ton of FCS experience. We'll see. It'll be a patch job, which I wrote down in my notes. So it's nothing gonna be special. But if it's serviceable, maybe I see them, cracking it over. But it's a hard team to get excited about in this year in 2023.
Yeah, I lean under for all the reasons that you just mentioned. I do kind of like their defense a little bit in some spots, but their secondary just got shredded. Not shredded like literally like, but it got taken apart. It was good last year, and now there's no one there, right? So what are you supposed to do right there now? I don't hate Tony Muskett. I was doing a little digging on him, and I'm like, okay, all right, this guy's okay, but I don't know. Brendan Armstrong was their leading rusher last year, so it feels like if Brendan Armstrong can't get any help, what is? It feels like Tony Muskett might be in for a pretty rude awakening. Here he goes at Tennessee week 1. That's
Sheesh.
so brutal. I mean, games I could see them winning James Madison, but that's a good Sunbelt team. Um, like
Maryland too.
yeah, Maryland's is a good out of conference. Like this is a tough out of conference schedule. On top of the fact that they don't draw Syracuse, which is a bummer. Of course they get Virginia Tech, but if and they get Boston College, I guess. But so yeah, there might be a chance that uh something big could happen, but I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. it's going to be a sorry. I'm definitely not taking the over, but not exactly taking the under. So give me a lean under here.